Buenos dias, all. RGT85 here. Been a little while since we had one of those, but it's been a little while since we've done a multiple news story video. But we're doing one today because there's a couple things going on that I definitely want to talk about. If this is your first time here, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 500,000 subscribers. I like to hit it sooner rather than later. But without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on in the world of video games. So we're going to start things off with a franchise that's really near and dear to my heart. I, of course, am talking about Metal Gear Solid. Now, Metal Gear Solid is kind of in a bit of a resurgence phase, I guess you could say. We got our first in-engine look at Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. It's utilizing Unreal Engine 5, and I mean, you know, it didn't really show much in terms of gameplay. It was just more so about the areas, the environments, the different sorts of wildlife, but I thought it was looking pretty promising. You know, some of the animations were a bit on the stiff side, but beyond that, like, they obviously have a lot of time to sort of clean this up. A lot of people think that this might be a 2024 game. I don't really think so. I think it's more of a 2025 game because of the fact that, you know, you just released the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. So do you really want to potentially cannibalize sales? And I understand, you know, one's an HD version and one's a full-on remake, but it's not really a full-on remake because it's the same story and the same dialogue and stuff. But I like what I'm seeing from Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. And then, of course, we have the aforementioned Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. Now, I took a look at the Switch version here on the channel because I thought that was the most kind of interesting version. You know, you know what to expect with Xbox and PlayStation, but obviously I have a lot of Metal Gear Solid bias, and people didn't like it quite as much as I did. Some people liked it more than I did, but what it really boils down to is Metal Gear Solid 1 is aged like milk in terms of visuals and gameplay, and they did really nothing to try to spruce either of those things up. The gameplay I could look past, but the visual style just doesn't look all that great. Now, 2 and 3 on the Switch are honestly pretty decent, all things considered. Like I said, go check out my video talking about that. I showcase all the games in the collection, all the bonus features, but there definitely was sort of a feeling of, I don't know, kind of a little bit half-assed. Like, you know, it was all right, but they could have done so much more. This is a series rich with history and lore and stuff like that, but it seemed like Konami was almost unsure. Like, do people care about Metal Gear Solid? You know, should we put a ton of time and effort into this compilation, or should we just do kind of the bare minimum and hope that it sells well, and then maybe we'll have some sort of incentive to keep this going on and show more support for Metal Gear Solid games? Spoiler alert, Konami, people like Metal Gear Solid. This is why you need to reach out to me. You and Sega need to start reaching out to me before you make any of these executive decisions, because I can help you. I can help you look good in gamers' eyes. I know what the word on the street is, people. God, just reach out to me. But it doesn't seem like this Metal Gear Solid resurgence is coming to an end anytime soon. If anything, it looks like it's getting a hell of a lot stronger, and this is coming to us from the man himself, the man behind Solid Snake and Naked Snake, the man with the iconic voice, David freaking Hayter.
Hey Sean, I have someone here who has something to say.
Hey, I'm Solid Snake, and I just wanted to say, RGT85 sucks!
All right, David, calm down there, buddy. But this was a tweet that was made the other day talking about this is only the beginning, Metal Gear Solid Volume 1. And then we see the sub-quoted tweet. The voice of Big Boss, David Hayter, guides us through iconic moments in the Metal Gear Solid franchise. We hope you're ready for this because this is only the beginning. And then some Metal Gear hashtags. And then they have a video of David at Konami headquarters. Now, this makes me honestly very, very excited for the potential future, not only necessarily of a Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2, but potentially some more stuff added into Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. You know, maybe Konami looked at this and they were like, hey, people like this game. People want more of this game. I love that David Hayter is back because that was one of my biggest problems with Metal Gear Solid 5. But RGT, it's a different stake. I do not care. I do not need Hollywood infiltrating my video games. Video games should be infiltrating Hollywood. You know how I feel about stuff like that. And when Kojima had Hayter replaced with Kiefer Sutherland, who I call Queefer, I wasn't happy with that. You know, I wasn't happy with that, but having David Hayter coming back to the fold and now being involved in this Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, that's a big deal. Okay, that's a big deal. That's showing me that it wasn't, you know, Konami who started the rift with David Hayter, it might have been Kojima. And I'm not trying to bash on Kojima, because without Kojima, we don't have the Metal Gear Solid games. I can appreciate what he's done, but disagree with him on certain things, and I definitely disagree on that front. But this has me very excited, because it doesn't look like this is sort of a one and done thing. We already know Konami has announced that they're going to do some subsequent patches to the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, but could there be additional content added to the game as well? Because I mean, really, it's a digital collection. Even if you buy, you know, on the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox, you still got to install it onto your system and stuff like that. So this is very promising to me. You know, this shows me that maybe Konami has more planned for this, and maybe they should have let consumers know that. But what's going on beyond this? Like that's what I want to know, because now you've whet my appetite with this collection. But you're telling me, like, maybe this was just the appetizer. Maybe there's still more to the main course being added. I don't know. I'm probably looking way too deep into it. They're probably going to have, like, a David Hayter shirt. I'll buy it, you know, even though he buried me. But I'll buy a David Hayter shirt, and maybe this isn't going to be that big of a deal. But the optimist in me, which is a very small portion of me, is hopeful for this. So let me know what you think of this in the comment section down below. Do you think that we're getting more from the, I mean, when you look at the hashtags used by David Hayter in his tweet, he said MGS Volume 1, meaning the Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 1. So it looks like there's going to be more with this. I don't know. And finally, it's time to hop in the car and head on over to everyone's favorite destination. I, of course, am talking about Rumorville, USA, because once again, RGT has to come along and give you a dose of realism with something, a situation that has been spurning up online. People are going crazy because when you look at the calendar, it's November 1st, 2023, meaning that the year is quickly coming to a close. There's not going to be many game announcements happening at this time of the year. These are all game releases and games going on sale and stuff like that. But that hasn't stopped a certain sect of video game consumers, Nintendo fans, to not think that something else is gonna happen, something big is gonna happen, and it's all coming from a tweet. And Jesus Christ, this is all insanity. This is all insanity. Is a Switch Zelda remaster or remake possibly inbound for later this year? An industry analyst may or might have suggested. Yes, folks, people think that another Zelda game is coming out this year. It's November. Let's keep that in mind. It is November, so where is all this coming from? Yesterday, Dr. Serkan Toto, who is, of course, a person, I don't know, he's, I guess, insider, game industry analyst, Serkan Toto, made a tweet saying ZR 2023. And it seems like people are connecting dots to Zelda with this, because there was a similar tweet for Breath of the Wild 2 called Z2 2022, even though the game didn't come out in 2022. And then there's other Z's and R's and Z's and crap like that. And so now people think that another Zelda game is either going to be announced this year or going to come out this year. Now, I do think there is the potential for something to be at the Game Awards. Even though Nintendo, the past 2 years, hasn't done a damn thing at the Game Awards, could they? Like, sure, there's a chance of that. But I'm not necessarily reading too deep into this because, well, for one thing, I just said he made a tweet called Z222. And that was implicating that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, which of course became Tears of the Kingdom, was going to be a 2022 release. It was not. But this isn't the first time that Dr. Serkan Toto has led his patients astray, because you might remember back in January of 2022, they were adamant that Mario Kart 9 was far along in development with a brand new twist, and we would probably see it in 2022. Don't believe me? There's articles all over the internet, and I'm probably showing you some right now with Dr. Serkan Toto's tweet about the situation, saying that he felt that this was something going to happen. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, this was a prediction thing from Dr. Serkan Toto in his, I don't know why I keep saying it funny, but this was a prediction tweet from a sales analyst, this, that, and the other. But to me, that's just saying that, like, okay, so you're giving him an excuse in case he's wrong. And I feel like people are just looking way too far into this. Like, yeah, there is a look at me here. There is a minuscule chance that Nintendo comes out at the Game Awards, okay? And they do a little presentation and they say, hey, Twilight Princess HD or Wind Waker HD, or maybe even both of them, available right now on your Nintendo Switch. Physical release will be in 2-3 weeks or something like that. There is a chance of that. I'm not trying to diminish that sort of thing, because that's something we've heard so much about. So many different insiders and stuff say that Twilight Princess HD, which I guess is like HD version 2, and Wind Waker HD version 2, they're done. They're sitting there. Why hasn't Nintendo released them? I don't know, but I know they're real, this, that, and the other. So that is a possibility. But is this tweet necessarily indicative of that possibility? And if so, why was the tweet deleted? Because the tweet has now been deleted since its initial posting date. So I can't really get excited about something like that. If someone makes an ominous tweet, you know, vague posting something, people run with it, and then all of a sudden when you see yourself getting a bunch of, you know, eyes on what you're doing, you recant the tweet, you delete it. So did you lose confidence in it? Is that not happening? Is everyone wrong on that? And if so, why can't you just come out and say something? Like, you've obviously drummed up an expectation out of people, and now it seems like you're backpedaling on that. So if that's the case, just come out and say what your tweet meant, or come out and say, sorry, things changed, blah, blah, blah. It's just so weird to me. It's so weird to me how a simple, like, I'm going to start, dude, I actually have a story about this. If you're done with hearing from me, you know, go ahead. Thank you for watching the video. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. But I have a story that can relate to this, and I'm going to tell this story. And if you care about the story, you can stick around. If not, you know, have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. But when I was in high school, I came up with this funny idea, and me and my friends I got all my friends in on it. And what we were doing was we were going around and whispering into people's ears, like people that we knew or people that we didn't know, the chicken flies at midnight. And like, it was something that I took from a Full House episode, that like when Joey Gladstone came home, that was a warning signal that you would give, because they were doing like some big surprise. They were moving him from the garage into his own bedroom because Joey, I guess, proved his worth or something. So Stephanie messed up the saying. I don't even remember what the saying was, but she said the chicken flies at midnight. And I always thought that was so weird. So we went around like whispering that into people's ears. And then all of a sudden, like 2 or 3 days later, we all got called into the principal's office because they thought we were like planning. So like, what's this chicken flies at midnight stuff? Yeah, they were whispering in people's ears. What is this all about? And it was like this whole big thing. And it stemmed from absolutely nothing, just from a funny joke. And it's almost like playing telephone, you know, Great Purple Monkey. And then it comes up at something completely different at the end of it when you go through a line of communication. So is Zelda gonna be at the Game Awards? Is the chicken gonna fly at midnight? I don't know. And you know what? Nobody knows. It's something that you can speculate on. But to take this as word, like biblical word, I think you're setting yourself up for a bit of a disappointment. All right, now I'm done. Enjoy the video. Hope you guys had fun. I really have to cough right now, so I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later. Oh, that was good.